Recording in progress.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday on this very rainy, dreary Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Danielle Petrino, the project manager for the Wellness and Integrative Oncology program, and this is Angela Zaccanini, our lifestyle dietitian slash registered dietitian slash chef. So we're excited to be with you here today. We are cooking up for you a tuna melt quesadilla. I'm not a huge fan of tuna, and this is lovely.
Yay.
So honestly, it kind of sounds a little weird, like, oh, why would I want to do that? But it's really good. So give it a try, give it a chance.
Yeah.
And kick us off about all the goodness of this recipe.
All right. So this recipe is brought to you by What to Eat During Cancer Treatment. This is a cookbook developed by the American Cancer Society. You can find this online. There's dietitians that kind of created this book and the recipes as well. It also bases these recipes off of symptom management. So that's something to consider too if you're going through active treatment and you are experiencing some side effects. So this recipe can be found on page 97. Of course, if you were to just Google a tuna melt quesadilla recipe, I'm sure you can find something similar. This is a very simple recipe though. It doesn't even require oven, stovetop, anything. It actually uses the microwave.
Yeah.
Again, you could utilize a stovetop or a skillet to make the quesadilla, but we're gonna keep it simple, just like the recipe says. So only a few ingredients: mayonnaise, dill relish, Dijon mustard, we have some cheddar cheese, onion, red onion, and then your wraps. So if you're looking for a lower calorie option, of course, maybe choosing a light mayonnaise, doing obviously the tuna in water instead of olive oil, and then the cheddar cheese, choosing a skim or a low fat option to lessen that calorie content. On the opposite spectrum, if you're trying to boost your calories, which a lot of oncology patients are, to gain weight or just to maintain their weight, the high calorie options are best. So full fat mayonnaise, full fat cheese, get the tuna with the olive oil, whatever you need. So the first ingredient is going to be obviously the tuna. Did you use 1 or 2 cans today?
2 cans.
2 cans. 2 cans.
2 cans.
So the recipe calls for 1 can, but we use 2. And it is going to use 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. So if you're using 2 cans, you're going to double the recipe. So we're just going to do just a heaping tablespoon because we're trying to watch our calorie content. Next is going to be the Dijon mustard.
You know, we made this recipe on Wednesday, so Ange made a great point on Wednesday. The calorie here, and this is, you know, full fat mayonnaise, is 110 calories per tablespoon. So that's pretty significant, especially if you are watching. If you're not, load it up. The mustard, I would say this, it's really good to measure what your tablespoons look like, because you can really see how much or little. Like if this were me at home, I'm just squeezing it in, I'm not measuring anything, and I'm going to get more calories than what I want. And again, if you're trying to get more calories, you still use the measuring, so that way you can really make sure that you're, you know, putting those calories in. Another thing too, we have this relish is super good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dill relish. So I think it's pickled. I think all relish is pickled, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you can also add more of this. I mean, this is nothing in calories. So again, really easy. Mustard's not that high in calories. So there's a lot of ways to make this very flavorful. And you can find any of these ingredients at any store. Very simple, very cost effective. We made a double batch because this is what Ange and I are eating for lunch today. And so we actually added some hot sauce on ours on Wednesday.
So
if you want some spice, especially if you're having some issues with taste.
Yep.
A little bit more salt will help those taste buds.
Yes.
So.
Good. Excellent. So we did add, again, a little bit more of the ingredients. So we added double portion of the dill relish, which it calls for 1 tablespoon. We added a little bit more. For the red onion, it is a tablespoon.
I mean, I cut way more, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of red onion. I like it very diced because it's powerful.
It is powerful.
So, you know, you can do as much or as not much as you want.
Mhm.
It does give it a kick, but I would definitely suggest really mixing that up.
Yep.
So,
And again, with the red onion, just like you mentioned, the taste for the hot sauce,
yeah,
red onion is going to give you a ton of flavor and taste. So if
Yep.
you are experiencing bland taste, add more.
and it's really interesting to see when you are measuring this, how little it does take to get this to all gel together. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to talk a little bit about our wraps. I actually brought in some wraps from home. So wraps, it's very interesting, but you should really read the label on your wrap. I think people think that wrap equals low carb, and that's not necessarily the truth. These are just a whole grain tortilla wrap. So 130 calories for 1 wrap, 3 grams of fat, 21 total carbohydrates, 4 dietary fibers, and 6 protein. So again, if you're wanting to build up if you're looking to gain weight, this is a great wrap. And you know, the ingredients, the first ingredient is organic whole wheat flour. And that's what you want to see, that it's 100% whole grain.
Yep.
This, I think you can find these at Target, Aldi. This is a fit and active low carb tortilla wrap. So listen up here. It's an 80 calorie wrap. So technically you could almost do 2 of these for the price of that one. So if you're like a little more hungry, you could do something like that. 2 fats, 11 carbohydrates, 7 dietary fibers, and 2 proteins. So you are not getting as much protein, but definitely lower carb, and pretty high dietary fiber actually.
Yeah.
So just something to think of. And again, the first ingredient here, this isn't a whole wheat. It's enriched wheat flour, which I don't even really know what that means. So it's like a fake wheat, huh?
Yeah, enriched meaning it's adding things to make it a product.
Okay.
Or they take something out and then add it back in.
Yeah. You're using that wrap.
Oh, I forgot.
Mm.
I'll use this one, you use that. Sorry.
Oh, it's like that broke anyways there.
Here, you want to
So-
assemble yours?
Yeah. Make your own lunch day. And so talk us through some of the more benefits of this.
Yeah. So tuna, it is obviously a fish. So if you're trying to cut back on red meat or even just chicken and turkey, this is a good alternative.
Yeah.
It's really high in protein. It also has omega-3 fatty acids. So you may think, oh, I only get omega-3 fatty acids if I eat salmon.
Right.
And that's not the case. You're getting them here. I have a lot of patients a little hesitant to have tuna in the can. They're like, oh, I shouldn't have canned goods. And that's also not the case. It's a very convenient option and packed with protein, and you can really spice it up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the last thing you're going to do, you're going to assemble half of your wrap with the tuna mixture, and then you're just going to add some cheddar cheese on the other half. Yep. So when you do that, you will eventually kind of flip this side of the tuna mixture on top of the cheese. So you are making that quesadilla. These wraps tend to be a little bit smaller. So if you're making for more than one person, you are going to maybe have to double the portion. You could also layer the wrap. So maybe put one on the bottom, one on the top. Again, you're getting more carbs and calories that way and cutting it up. Now, microwaving this, 40 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
And you have a hot, kind of comforting lunch.
It is. It's a bit comforting. I mean, you could also pair this with like a nice bowl of soup.
Yeah. Or a big salad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there that you can do, especially on a cold, rainy day like this. Like we all just want something warm.
Yeah.
So, and
Just
again,
getting the hot sauce
get the
out.
hot sauce out.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. It's easy. This is something so easy that you could do for your lunch, for dinner, quick dinner if you
Yeah,
need to.
yeah.
So,
So let's quickly talk about the remainder of our classes. So last week in October is coming up, and I just can't believe it.
I know.
So next week, we're doing a Tuscan farro and bean salad. Our patients are always looking for more plant-based options, so that's going to be next week. And then we're moving into our November and December schedule.
Crazy.
I know. So we're keeping the same days and times for now. So every Wednesday at 9 a.m., Friday at noon, Our November and December schedule will be sent out in the newsletter, which you receive weekly if you gave us if you gave us your email address.
Yes, correct.
So take a look at that and join us.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of things, obviously wrapped around the holidays, so some recipes that you can incorporate with your dinner and your holiday plans. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, but definitely sign up for the newsletter. If you go to our website, you can just go to hillmancancercenter.com and then you'll find Integrative Oncology as one of the tabs. You can just sign up for the website. Sign up for the newsletter by putting your first, last name, and email address. And you'll get a weekly email with a reminder to add to your calendar. And if you ever want to cook along with us, there's information in the newsletter to send us an email and we'll forward you on the recipe. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. I think it's a good weekend to watch movies.